Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for taking the time to log on and join me today. If this is the first video of mine that you're seeing, welcome. My name is Natasha. I am a WW member. I'm currently maintaining my weight. I'm 6 months into maintenance and I lost over 4 stone in 12 months. I definitely have loads of hints and tips to share when it comes to how to succeed on Weight Watchers, what I ate on WW to both lose weight and maintain my weight, and also I am a WW ambassador, so you can count upon all of the information that you see on this channel. It's official, it's not hearsay, and it is what you can rely upon and trust. So today we're going to be talking about the advantages and disadvantages of the green plan. Very recently I did a video talking all about the disadvantages and advantages of blue. I will link that above in case you haven't seen it. And to be honest with you, that was a really interesting conversation because it's so interesting that what some people see as an advantage, other people think that is the worst thing about it to me. And again, it strikes up that conversation and it's just super interesting. So today I'm going to be talking about from my point of view and the feedback that I've received from both you guys, workshops, meetings, and just kind of try and break it down for you and let you know what I think the advantages and disadvantages are, because as much as we love certain programs, there are pros and cons to everything in life, and hopefully this will make you guys make a more informed decision if you're new to WW, or if you're kind of stuck in the rut on your current plan and you're not too sure, or if you just want a bit more information. So the first advantage and the main advantage when it comes to the green plan is that you now have a highly dose of dailies, which is amazing. It's fantastic, especially if you eat a lot on the go, you're a bit of a grazer throughout the day, you don't prepare a lot of your own food and you like to eat out often, or eat at other people's houses where you've not necessarily prepared everything. It just gives you more of a buffer. It just gives you more points to play with throughout your day. You can be a little bit more flexible when it comes to your dailies and your weeklies. So I would definitely say that a lot of people love the fact that you get much more dailies in a day. There's less of a grey area. When they're gone, they're gone. There's no confusion about 0-point views and all of that jazz. So yes, bigger daily budget is definitely something that is a huge advantage. But the next advantage is the fact that there are actually less 0-point views than the other two plans. And again, this can be seen as both an advantage and a disadvantage because some people don't want that grey area. Some people don't want the confusion. They either want it free, where you can have it and you don't have to worry about it, or it's not and then you have to point it. So I feel like a lot of people would love the fact that the 0-point views list is less. So that is definitely another advantage. The next one is that it's definitely friendlier for socialising, especially right now in the midst of the festive season, heading up to New Year. It can be quite tricky when you're pointing generally. So the fact that you get more dailies into your daily routine is amazing because it's a bit more flexible. It enables you to go out and have treats more. It enables you to go out with your friends and socialise because you have that nice kitty of dailies that you can go into, and of course you have your weeklies as well. So I feel like a lot of people would see that it's more an advantage when it comes to this plan, going and eating out and socialising. It's a bit more friendlier for that kind of scene. The next one is the fact that it's amazing if you like a Christmas drink, or if you like to have a drink in general. For me personally, I don't really drink. I drink very, very rarely. In fact, the only times I really drink throughout the year, I might have a Prosecco on my birthday, I'll have a champagne to toast in the new year every year, and I'll have a wine or two with my Christmas dinner, and I might have a mulled wine. I don't drink very often. In fact, I could probably count the units on both of my hands throughout a whole year that I would have. So for me, alcohol has never been an issue, but I understand that it's part of socialising, it's part of a lot of people's everyday lives, that they want a bit of alcohol, but I feel like it's a lot friendlier when you have a highly daily budget if you do want to have a little bit of a drink, because alcohol units are so high in point value. Alcohol is not cheap when it comes to your daily points allowance. It's actually quite high. And I'm going to do a whole video on weight loss and alcohol because it's something that I get asked about a lot, and I do have a lot of hints and tips to share on that front. But I feel like it's a fantastic plan if you do like a drink because you have more daily. So like the socialising for alcohol, even if you want to have a drink at home, it's a bit more friendly to you guys. And the next one, and this one again, it's dependent on how you look at it, but a huge advantage to me as someone who likes a lot of structure is that this plan is far more regimented because you know where you are. There's less 0-point views, there's more dailies, and it's a bit more regimented. It's a bit clearer, and there's a bit more structure to it. And I feel like people like myself like that kind of thing. You have a bigger pot of dailies, and once they're gone, and they can roll over if not. So those are definitely the key advantages. You get a higher daily point allowance, less 0 point food, so less confusion, friendlier to socialising, friendlier to people that do want a nice drink every now and again, and then finally ideal if you like a lot of structure in your life. So those are the advantages I would say when it comes to green. The disadvantages, and again these kind of contrast what I've just said, but it depends on what side of the coin you're looking at this from, is the fact that there are less 0 point foods. So if you're a massive fan of the 0 point foods list, I would definitely say check out blue or check out purple, because those plans are insane, the amount of 0 point foods that they offer. But also, if you're not a big fan of chicken and eggs, you're very unlikely to be matched to a blue, if I'm completely honest. So the green plan, less 0 point foods, list is smaller, so people may say that as a disadvantage. The next one is that dailies are now higher, and it actually might be a shock to the system. I definitely found this when I went to maintenance. So when I'd lost all of my weight and I didn't want to lose any more, I popped my points up because obviously I wanted to maintain my weight. I didn't want to lose anymore. And I have to say, it's a shock to the system consuming that many extra calories throughout the day, and I still struggle with it now sometimes, and I still sometimes my weight decreases and it increases and it never completely stays the same. But what I would say is it can be a bit of a shock to the system having that increase of daily, so do bear that in mind. Don't be too hard on yourself, but some people may think that that shock and that inconsistency may bother them and may again be a disadvantage. Next disadvantage that some people may find is that you do have to track more on this plan, because obviously because your daily kitty has gone up, the 0 point foods group is less, and you have to be more particular because you have more dailies to consume. You need to be really careful about weighing things out and what you're tracking, because you need to be accurate, because you don't want to have more dailies but then not be accurate, and then you're going over and then you're going to see an actual increase in your weight. So I would definitely say that you do have to track more, and some people coming from blue or coming from a different plan might think, oh, I don't really want to have to track really religiously all the time. But when you have a higher daily, then that is something that you are going to have to face. Next disadvantage is you need to check what were 0 point foods have now perhaps become pointed foods. So what I mean by that is when you're on the blue plan, a certain item may have been free that you now check on the green plan and it is not, and you might take it for granted. I would definitely say once you've chosen your plan, sift through the chosen foods list, screenshot it on your phone and make sure that you are checking, because the plans have changed, the 0 point foods have changed, and you don't want to kind of trip up on something like that. But it's something to bear in mind. Don't take it for granted if it was free on a previous plan. Make sure that you're checking. And again, that inconsistency and that confusion, it might unsettle people and it might be seen as a disadvantage, and I would definitely say that would be a bit of a disadvantage in my opinion. And the last disadvantage, I would definitely say it comes when it comes to rolling over. So what you might find, especially if you're coming from blue, is that you struggle to consume all of these extra dailies, and then you can only roll over 4, so you're actually losing points throughout the week that you could have eaten. Again, that might not seem like an issue for some people, but if you're on maintenance like me, it's really important, because if you don't eat your recommended calorie intake, you could then lose further weight, and then that is not fantastic. So I would definitely say try and eat your dailies, but try to be also very mindful and also very specific and very accurate when it comes to your pointing and your weighing, because if you roll points over constantly, you're technically in limbo somewhere and lost, and you don't get to roll them over. So definitely have a think about that. Some people again might see that as a disadvantage because they're struggling to eat their dailies because there's so much more of them, and they're struggling with the change, and then they're not having what they normally would because you can only roll over 4. So it's just something to bear in mind, something to think about, and again something that I think a lot of people would see as a slight disadvantage. But that is it. That is all the advantages and disadvantages that I see on the green plan. Again, a lot of these are opinion based. Let me know what you guys think when it comes to pros and cons of the green plan. I'd love to hear from you, especially if you're on the green plan, like let us know. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and make sure that you subscribe. It's completely free, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.